Hi friends, sairam app. இது ஒரு green social media. இது Facebook மாதிரி ஒரு social media platform. இதுல pictures, videos and voice chat roomலாம் இருக்கு. இதுல account open பண்ணி verify வாங்குற ஒவ்வொரு users பேர்லயும் ஒரு மரக்கன்று நடப்படும். இத sign up பண்ணி account open பண்ணும்போது verification email வரும். அத verification பண்ணா மட்டும் தான் account open ஆகும். நீங்க என்ன user name கொடுக்குறீங்களோ அதை கொடுத்து தான் login பண்ணணும். email address போடக்கூடாது. account open பண்ணி cover photo, profile picture எல்லாம் வச்சு ரெகுலரா ஆக்டிவேட்டா இருந்தா மட்டும் தான் அது verified accountல எடுத்துக்கொள்ளப்படும். அதர் ஆப்ஸ்ல அப்லோட் பண்ணாத வாட்டர்மார்க் இல்லாத ஓன் கண்டென்ட் வீடியோ போட்டு வெரிஃபை வாங்குற யூசர்ஸ்க்கு கிஃப்ட் உண்டு. அது என்ன கிஃப்ட் அப்படிங்கறத அந்த ஆப்ல மெசேஜ் வரும். sairam app லிங்க் டிஸ்கிரிப்ஷன்ல இருக்கு, டவுன்லோட் பண்ணிக்கங்க. sairam app iOS and Google Play Storeலயும் இருக்கு, டவுன்லோட் பண்ணிக்கங்க.
Siddhar Tirumoolar distilled all his learning and experiences and composed his magnum opus Tirumandiram in Tamil language, comprising 3000 mantrams divided into 9 tantrams. Tirumandiram has no equal in this world on all the aspects of human anatomy: childbirth, family life, 4 stages for God realization, and 8-step procedures for the spiritual path in the form of 8-part Yogam called Ashtanga Yogam as one of the 4 stages in God realization. Nobody in this world has laid out a clear map of spiritual path to realize God, suitable for every individual like Siddhar Tirumoolar. At the same time, till nobody could spell out the nuances of childbirth from the time of copulation between husband and wife, the determination of the gender, the character of the child, birth defects, etc., like Siddhar Tirumoolar. He had listed 72,000 veins for the flow of energy in the body. In addition to the 8-part yogam called Ashtanga Yogam, the Pariyanga Yogam, which is God realization through the copulation between husband and wife, Kesari, Lion Yogam, Chandra, Moon Yogam, and various additional techniques like Navagari, Samabhavi, Peroli, Triumbalam Chakram are elaborately explained. These are methods of praying through respective mandaram engraved in a copper plate as a representation of the god for realization. The pioneer Siddharagatiyar, the great saint, had laid the foundation for the modern medicine, and his followers had established detailed procedures for every disease encountered by human race from time immemorial. Many Siddhas had developed unique knowledge of herbs, chemicals and materials which are marveled even today. For example, Siddhar Bogar had composed 7,000 stanzas and created the current deity of Arulmigu Dandaidapani, Lord Murugan with a stick, Swami Temple, Parani Hills, Tamil Nadu. The idol is made of 9 poisons. As an expert in medicine, he used 4,448 rare herbs and made 9 poisonous medicines, mixing these 9 poisons to make a master medicine, which is one medicine to cure all disease, needs expert knowledge and skill. Bogar and others then decided that by using the milk and panjamardam, a sweet recipe made of 5 ingredients, poured on the idol, one can extract the medicine tolerable to human consumption from the idol. The milk and panjamardam then becomes medicine to cure a variety of diseases. They also apply sandal paste all over the idol in the night, and the next day morning it is scraped and distributed as medicine. It is practiced even today. Siddhar Gorakar is credited for cultivating tobacco and cannabis. His composition, Chandra Regai, is famous for predictions. All the Siddhas contributed immortal compositions on the methods of God realization. Many Siddhas exhibited the ability to make copper into gold, and important metals like gold and silver into ash. This ash is mixed with herbs and root extracts to cure many diseases, and especially the ash of gold is popular even today to increase the virility of males. However, many such preparations lead to unwanted side effects because of improper preparations. Also, they had the ability to solidify mercury and make beads and idols, which are there in many temples even today. Modern science has its own boundaries and will function within the boundary only. Spiritual science has no boundary. Only the spirituality is leading the scientific research about living beings and the universe and the relationship between all these. Because of this, Raja Yogam spirituality is essential for the human race. Disciple. Is family an obstacle for spiritual path? Guru. None of the spouses had become an obstacle for spiritual life. Only we make them to become an obstacle for ourselves. In the beginning of the married life, they had shared the pleasures along with you. After enjoying all these pleasures, they are not ready to lose it. They are afraid of losing it if you plan to start spiritual life. They are afraid that these pleasures already enjoyed may be lost. Because of this, your spouse becomes an obstacle. Your spouse is a must for your family life. When 10 men join together and start to live in a house, nobody will tell that they are leading a family life. Only if a man and a woman join together, started leading a life, then it is called a family. Family is formed only with spouse and children. Then persons planning to start spiritual life must not deviate from the duties one has to perform for their spouse and children. If you are not performing the family duties, then I do not accept you as my disciple. In the right spiritual path, one must carry out and fulfill the requirements of the family. Who will feed your family? Who will educate your children? You have to do all these things. While doing all these things, you should not get attached to them and the life. That is the correct path for spirituality. If you are maintaining in this way, you will not get any obstacles from them. Only when their requirements are not fulfilled, then they will become your enemies and will make your spiritual life miserable. Disciple, what is Vasi Yogam? Guru, by practicing our Raja Yogam breathing lesson for a long time, your breathing will become Vasi, which is yogic inner breathing automatically. There will not be any activity below your neck. In recent days, there are many people announcing that they are teaching Vasi Yogam. Nobody can teach it to anybody. Vasi will not speak, that is, cannot hear the sound of breathing, and our breathing will speak, which is, can hear the sound of breathing. Only if it speaks, then one can teach it to others. How can you teach when there is no breathing or speaking? Who will speak to whom and who will listen to whom? Our breathing over a period of time, with the instructions from the God-realized Guru, will become Vasi by itself. In this process of inner breathing, there is no breathing below the neck. It will be like a dead body. Vasi runs inside your head, from your nose area to the top of your head. Arul Prakasha Ramalinga Vallalar inquired that people are talking about Vasi and Vasi. What did they hear? What did it talk about? How it talked? Nobody can see it. It is an unspeakable object. Aravayar grandma emphasized that if you start Vasi and Vasi, then you become Shiva and Shiva, the God. You become God. When did God speak to anybody? What did it speak? The emperor of 8-part Attanga Yogam, Siddhar Thirumolar, ridicules that if Vasi and Usi, the needle, communicate with each other, then why should we blabber about it? Generally, the people without knowing all these things are speaking about it, teaching it and cheating others. Let them do whatever they like it, but I am not interested or ready to cheat in the spiritual matter. At the same time, I will not interfere in the activities of others. Let us focus only on what we do in our ashram. Let us focus only on our instructions and lessons. Everyone must learn one thing, which is very important. For people searching for God, there is no differentiation among country, language, religion, caste, subcaste, men and women. If one is searching in religion, you will not find God there. Whatever may be the religion, if you start on the path of God realization, then there is no religion. In this path, everyone should think about the realization of God only. One should not get entangled within religious rituals. You should not be controlled by a religion. If a person is under the control of a religion, then it is similar to a person controlled by their family. Both are same. God is beyond all these religion and caste. Could anyone tell the caste, religion, or the language of God? No one can tell. Religions were founded to carry out benevolent activities for a society. Individual human being cannot do effective beneficial activities for many people. If there is an organization like religion, many people can gather and jointly carry out many beneficial activities for the society. Religions were found only for this. Nowadays it has become something different, and they are doing many things not conducive for societal harmony and peace. For a person who is truly searching for God, nobody is higher or lower in caste, subcaste, rich and poor. Someone had come from Singapore to seek my blessing. After blessings, he inquired about our charitable activities and offering food to people. He had asked about the number of people receiving the food. I had told him that there are about 1,000 people. Then he inquired whether we are giving food to poor people. For that I asked him, don't the rich people have hunger? One must donate food only for alleviating hunger, and one should not research whether the person is rich or poor, good or bad. Simply, you should think that you are offering this food to God. Then there is no difference. If you think that you are offering food to human beings, then the differentiation will come. Therefore, all our activities must be submitted to God, and we must think we are doing all this for God. If you practice like this, then you will not be burdened and your mind will be free. Don't think that I am doing this and I am doing that. If you start thinking that you are doing this and you are doing that, then your mind will be burdened. To relieve your mind of this heavy load, please unload it to the feet of God and think that you are doing all these as service to God only. Disciple, what are the 7 yogic chakrams or the energy centers? Guru, there are 7 yogic energy centers which are called chakrams in our body. These are part of the subtle body of the Atma. They are Mooladharam, Swadhishtanam, Manipuragam, Anagatam, Vishuddhi, Agnyai, and Sahasraram. These are the anchoring points of the 5 subtle bodies, which is Annamaya Kosham, Pranamaya Kosham, Manomaya Kosham, Vijnanamaya Kosham, Anandamaya Kosham of the Atma within the physical body through 72,000 channels of energy flow, which is called Nadi. The first chakram is called Mooladharam, located at the bottom of the spinal cord. This represents the seat of Kundalini Shakti or snake. It is called snake because the Shakti is in the form of a coiled snake and will be in a sleeping state. While we are awake, the Kundalini snake will be sleeping. When the snake is awake at the Mooladharam, it will make us to sleep. This is the activity of Mooladharam. How to awaken the snake while we are awake? It is not possible to awaken it like waking up a sleeping person. We can awaken it only by containing energy of our life in the form of breathing and blowing it on the top of the head of the snake. While we are awake, if the Kundalini snake is also awake, then we attain Jnanam. When we sleep, it awakens. While we are awake, it sleeps. We perform our worldly routine activities when we are awake and Kundalini snake is sleeping. To make both awaken at the same time, we have to channelize our breathing into the Mooladharam along with our divine melody, the sound of Am. Usually it is said that Am is a single syllable mantram. Am contains A, U and Ma, representing Shakti, Shivam and Vishnu. These three are important for our body to function. Shakti resides in our Mooladharam in the form of fire. Mahavishnu resides in our stomach in the form of water. Shiva resides in the space in the form of eternal melody called Nadam. The combination of these three directs our body to function. The second chakram is called Swadhishtanam. It is located 2 finger widths above Mooladharam. It is connected with the testes for males and ovaries for females, associated with the production of the physical Vindu for males and Suronidam, gametes for females. It is connected to genitals through which Vindu will exit. The place where Vindu is created is called the center of life. When it is released into the female organ, it is used for fertilization of fetus to form new human beings to increase population. It is confirmed by our pioneer Siddhar Agathiyar, the great saint, in the following stanza. Vindu nilai tanai arindu vindai kandal. With the knowledge of the state of Vindu, one can witness wonders. Vidamana nadamadu guruvai pogum. The divine melody, the nadam, will become your guru. Andamulla nadamadu guruvai ponal. If the nadam with an end became your guru, adi andamana jodi niye avai. You will become the effulgent divine light that is the origin and the end. If the same Vindu is raised to the top of our head through the yogic chakrams by the subtle energy channel called Sukshamanadi with the help of a God-realized guru, then we will realize God. There are some people who try to withhold their Vindu and will say they are maintaining celibacy. This is ignorance. You should not be like this. The water in a well will be good for drinking only if people are regularly taking water from it. If nobody is taking water from the well, then that water will be spoiled and will not be useful for drinking. Similarly, maintaining celibacy and withholding the Vindu will lead to many diseases. One should approach a God-realized Raja Yogam guru for instructions to raise it to the top of the head. Otherwise, it should be allowed to ejaculate. There is no danger to the body if it is raised to the top or ejaculated. It is dangerous only if you contain it. The third chakram is called Manipuragam, located in our navel point. The literal meaning of this is city of jewels. The main function of this chakram is digestion and metabolism. It is the center for dynamism, energy and willpower. It is the home of fire and the vital air, Samana Vayu. The energies of Prana Vayu and Apana Vayu meet at the point in a balanced system. It helps to convert the nutrients from the digested food into energy for the body. If there is no food, even God cannot save us. Hence the food is our God. It helps in the process of the formation of blood cells, then the bone marrow, and finally the Vindu. The remaining unwanted materials are allowed to exit our body as waste. It retains only required nutrients for its growth and maintenance. The deity associated with this chakram is called Mahavishnu. The fourth chakram is called Anagatam, located in the center of our chest. When it is activated, you will feel an abundance of empathy, compassion, and love. This translates not just towards others, but also to oneself. It allows people to be who they are, instead of attempting to dismiss or change according to external expectations. Persons with an activated chakram develop trust in themselves and respects others. Heat energy is required for our body to be alive and carry out all its functions, including digestion and procreation. Heat is generated at the Anagadam chakram. This chakram mixes the blood with our breath and circulates it throughout body. The heat is generated by burning our accumulated fat and sugar. The fresh breath, along with clean blood, is circulated and brings back the used blood to the heart for cleaning and recirculation along with fresh breath. Without the breath and heat, the blood will not circulate and will get stagnated and solidified. The fifth chakram is called Vishuddhi, located at the center of our throat. It is the location for our breathing and speech. If there is no breathing, then the body will not get the required heat. If there is no heat in the body, it may not require water. Hence, this chakram is responsible for the essential breathing, speech, and special powers like clairvoyance and occult. The sixth chakram is called Agni, located between our eyes and above the nose. It's also called Surumunai. In a special Raja Yogam practice, the breath is taken to the top of the head along with the energy channel available in our spinal cord from Mooladharam and strike at Surumunai. This practice is called Saram Kuti, striking by breath. It is not an outside physical strike. Saram means our breath. Surumunai is also called Pati, which means the abode of God. Realization of God happens only if this chakram is activated and starts to function. These 6 chakrams are under the control of human beings. It will be activated only if you strike it with your breath through the energy channel called Sukshmanadi. One will see God if it opens. You can ask God whatever you want. Jesus Christ in this sermon indicated this point only as ask and it will be given to you. Knock and it will be opened for you. The 7th one, called Sahasraram. It can be reached only after crossing the human state and reaching the state of God. At this state, you will renounce everything and merge with God. The state of Sahasraram Chakram is the state of God. It is located at the top of our head. It is represented as 1,000-petaled lotus in the yogic literature. Disciple, what are Turiyam and Turiyatetam? Guru, there are 5 states of mind for the Raja Yogam practitioner. The first one is Jakradai. It is the state of wakefulness. When a mother sends a child to a place, she will instruct the child to go and come back carefully. This is called Jakradai. She is instructing her child to be in a state of wakefulness and not get entangled with anything on the way. Second state is the state of Soppanam, called dreaming. That is, dreaming in your sleep. The third state is Urakam. That is the state of sleeping. These are the 3 states for a normal human being. The 4th one is called Turiyam and the 5th one is Turiyatetam. Both of these states are experienced only by the Raja Yogam practitioner. These are called the state of Yogam and Jnanam. One cannot reach these states without the guidance of a God-realized Guru. It is not something that we can discuss openly. One can discuss any amount, but it has to be experienced. One has to practice every day for an hour, and people complain that it is difficult for them to sit for that long at a time. Turiyam is a state of Yogam, and Turiyatetam is the final state of Jnanam. Normal human beings live in the first 3 states. If one is interested to cross these 3, then they must learn Raja Yogam from a God-realized Guru. Learning alone is not sufficient. The disciple must follow all the instructions and lessons learned regularly without any break. It is possible only for those who learnt it from a proper Guru and following the instructions daily. Disciple, what is Kundalini Shakti? Guru, during the practice of Raja Yogam, the rising of Kundalini from the Mooladharam to Sahasraram Chakram will result in the loss of sensation below the head portion. It will be almost like a dead body. The difference between the dead body and the body of a yogic practitioner with Kundalini raised is that the life will come back to the yogic practitioner and life will not come back to the dead body. There are 3 major nadis or channels of energy in our body. The Pingala Nadi, P, Ida Nadi, I, and Sushmna Nadi, S, which run vertically in the body. Pingala Nadi is associated with solar energy. The word Pingala means orange or tawny in Sanskrit. Pingala has a sun-like nature and masculine energy. Its purpose is heating and courses from the right testicle to the right nostril. Ida Nadi, I, is associated with lunar energy. The word Ida means comfort in Sanskrit. It has a moon-like nature and feminine energy with a cooling effect. It courses from the left testicle to the left nostril. These are responsible for keeping the body warm and cold. These 2 breathing patterns automatically changes every 56 minutes and maintain the body temperature by balancing the heat and cold. Sushmna Nadi S interpenetrates the cerebrospinal axis, is associated with both nostrils being open and free to the passage of air. Sushmna connects all the 7 chakrams starting from the Mooladharam Chakram, base of spinal cord, to the Sahasraram Chakram, top of the head. Kundalini flows through this nadi. You might have noticed in the temples, while carrying out maintenance work, the temple authorities will tie one end of a silver thread to the main deity inside the sanctum sanctorum called Moolavar, and the other end will be tied to the Utchavar, the smaller idol of the deity that will be taken to various places away from the temple for worshipping by devotees from their homes. Sanctum sanctorum is closed for maintenance work, and devotees are not allowed to worship the main deity. Through the silver thread, the power of the main deity is transferred to the Utchavar idol outside, so that the devotees will receive the same blessings while worshipping the deity outside. Similarly, during the Raja Yogam practice, when Kundalini rises, the life will continue to be in the body itself. There will not be any motion in the body. That is why it is said the yogi will be in a state of a dead body without any motion. The yogi will see only the effulgent divine light and nothing else. No one can express this experience in words. The emperor of the Atanga Yogam, 8-part Shiva Raja Yogam, Siddharth Tirumoolar, in his magnum opus Thirumandiram, composed the following stanza about the experience. Aararivar engal annal perumayai. No one knows the extent of the glories of our Lord. Yararivar idan agalamum neelamum. Who knows the width and breadth of it? Perariyada perunjudar ondrin, that one effulgent divine light whose name is unknown. Verariyamai vilambugindrane. Speaking of the unknowability of its origin. Disciple, is it possible to know the Atma by Yogam? Guru, only when the body is perished, then only the Atma can be known. Yogam is a practice to unite everything into one whole. If everything is united into one, it is called Jnanam. If all our 5 senses unite, then also it is called Yogam. During this process, one will become oblivious of the surroundings. Disciple, is Atma female or male? Guru, Atma takes birth repeatedly. Atma cannot be destroyed. Atma is neither male nor female or Enoch. Similarly, there is no male, female or Enoch God. God is beyond all these. Similarly, the Atma is also beyond all these. Male and female distinctions are applicable only for the body. Disciple, is it possible to measure the weight of the Atma? Guru, there is no weight for the God and the Atma because the Atma must enter even the smallest ant and also is capable of entering a big elephant. It will function based on the body it takes, but it cannot increase its weight. Is it possible to measure the weight of the sunlight? You can measure the weight of an object only if it falls onto the ground due to gravity. Atma will never fall onto the ground. Hence, you cannot measure its weight and there is no measurement. It is not smaller and it is not bigger. People say the weight of the life is 21 grams. They measure the weight just before the death and after death of a person. It is possible to measure the weight of your body. You can measure the weight of the air, but you can never measure the weight of your Atma. Disciple, will Atma take birth again after the life leaves the body? Guru, during death, not only the life leaves the body. People usually say that the Jivan has left. Life has left and Atma has left. All these 3 will not leave one by one. These are called Trinity, namely Vindu, life and Atma. Vindu is represented by Shakti, which is fire. Life is represented by your breath. Atma is represented by the divine melody, Nadam or Am. All these 3 combines together at the time of death within the body and leaves the body together as one unit. When this trinity enters a new body, it splits into 3 and they locate themselves at 3 locations of our body. The life locates itself in our navel point. Vindu, represented by Shakti, locates itself in our hip region, and the divine melody Nadam, Am, representing Atma, locates itself on top of our head. These 3 together, called Trinity, function within the body separately. Only at the time of death, these 3 combine into one unit and leaves the body. When Trinity enters inside the body, it splits into 3 parts and functions separately. Earth, water, fire, air, and space are the 5 fundamental elements. These 5 elements are also present in our human body. Among them, the earth and the space stand alone. Only the fire, water, and air are functional. These 3 enter the human body. The fire as Vindu, breathing air as the life, and the divine melody as Atma. They are responsible for the function of the human body. These 3 go out of the body as one. When these 3 leave the body of a saint, they will merge with God. For ordinary human beings, if these 3 go out, they will not know how to merge with God. Also, they will not know the path. Hence, they will be waiting to enter into a new body. They will roam for 10 to 15 days without a body, but with the thought of the body. Then afterwards, when a suitable body is available, they will enter into the body and start functioning. They will function only within the body. and they cannot function without a body. Chapter number 2. God Realization. Disciple. Who is God? Guru. There are two gods. One is your soul, called Atma, in the form of light and sound existing in the window, which is semen, represented as inner divine light located at the lower portion of the body, and Nadam, the inner divine melody, arm, located at the top of our head, within ourselves. The second one is in the outside world, called Shivam, the pure love in the form of effulgent divine light form. Disciple. Is there a form for God? Guru. God is formless. God encompasses the entire universe. How can God have a form when the entire universe is contained within itself? Who will be able to see God? And God cannot be contained in anything. Disciple. God has crossed what? Andavan has ruled what? Guru. In Tamil, Kadavul means God. The question in Tamil means the God has crossed what? Kadavul yedai kadandavar. Similarly, Andavan in Tamil means ruler. The question in Tamil means the Andavan has ruled what? Andavan yedai Andavan. Every one of us has Atma, life and mind. Andavan refers to Atma. Atma is the ruler of our body. Life and mind are not the rulers. If there is no Atma in our body, then the life and mind cannot exist in our body. Atma is the ruler of the country called our body. Kadavul, the God, is the one who has crossed all the desires, attachment, relationships, attractions, vengeance, religions, self-indulgence, miserliness, jealousy, manhood, womanhood, good, bad, day and night. God is one who has crossed over all these mundane propensities. Disciple. How to submit our request to God? Guru. First, our life in the form of breathing must submit the request to our soul called Atma. Then the Atma carries our request to the Shivam, the pure love, in the form of effulgent divine light. Only when Atma communicates with the Shivam, the pure love, our requests are fulfilled. Disciple. What are the ways to reach God? Guru. Our body functions through the rhythm of the Atma. By learning and practicing Shiva Raja Yogam without a break from a self-realized Guru, we can reach God. The following figure lists all the steps involved in God realization as a proven scientific method in Raja Yogam. It is stated that Navakodi, 90 million people have realized God using the Siddhar tradition Raja Yogam. If you think that by worshipping God you will get wealth, health, kith and kin, then you will be disappointed. God is beyond our property, kith and kin. God is invisible and wonderful object if you want to reach it. In the process of reaching the God, one must lose themselves. If you want to lead a comfortable life, there is no place for you in the lotus feet of God. Only after losing everything, one can realize God. This principle of losing everything is there in most of the religions. Muslims must donate everything as a preparation for undertaking their holy pilgrimage to Mecca and Medina. In Christianity, it is said, even if a camel could enter through the eye of a needle, rich men can't enter heaven. Look for God within yourself as per the following stanza composed by Siddhar Sivavakir. Uruttaritta nadiyil odungugintra vayuvai, find the breath sheltered at the Mooladharam. Karuttinal iruthiye kabalametra vallirel, could raise it to the skull top by keeping it in the mind. Viruttarum palaravar meniyum sivandirum, senile becomes youthful, skin glows red. Arul taritta nadar padam ammai padam unmaye. It is true by the grace of the feet of the God and Goddess. Siddhar Patinatta reiterates that if you need to realize God, your mind must be calm. One must practice Raja Yogam to calm the mind, as he quoted in the following stanza. Attanga Yogamum Adharamarum Avattai Aindum. 8-part Yogam called Attanga Yogam on the 6 chakras of the body removes the 5 obstacles. Vitteri pona velithanile viyappu ondru kandeen. Witness the wonder at the space. Vattagi semmadi paaloral undu magalndirukka. Attained blissful state by drinking the milk secreted in the glands at the head by the power of the moon. எட்டாத பேரின்பம் என்னை விழுங்கி இருக்கின்றதே. The bliss beyond our reach consumed me. He stated that he didn't consume God, whereas it consumed him. One must earn for their livelihood. One has to perform some duties for earning. You can do any type of work, but keep your mind always on God. Don't keep your mind on materialistic things. It is very easy to keep our mind on God when we are happy. However, it is difficult in a sorrowful state. Patinattar gave an example about the maids in a village carrying multiple water pots stacked on their head. These village maids will walk and continue to talk with multiple pots full of water on their head, and they will make sure the pots don't fall off. How do they do it? While walking or talking, the village maids carrying water pots keep their mind on the pots. Disciple. Why one should select a path to reach God? Guru. Whatever may be the level of education, wealth, and luxuries people may have in this material world, they may not have peace of mind. Only in the path of God realization, one will have peace of mind. Both the wealthy and the poor go to temple to worship God. What will be the nature of their prayer request? The rich people have wealth, but no peace of mind, and hence the rich is praying for peace of mind. The poor man has no food and is praying for food. Therefore, both must worship God for their needs. There is only one God. There are no separate gods for each race, religion, caste, and country. All over the world, there is only one God. Atheists believe there is no God. If there is no God, then they themselves will not be here. One may live as long as God is functioning within them. If God leaves anyone, then they may not live anymore.